All right, Math 3, Part 2. Part 2 of the video for notes, section 7.2. If DE is equal to 8 and EF is equal to 25, 8 plus 25 would give me the length of DF. So just add those two together, and we get a length of 33. That's it. That is modeling. So you had to come up with the diagram on your own, took that and made an equation for it. So that's what they're talking about in the learning target, about modeling geometry relationships. If they give you, like in the description, you can create a visual geometric representation. So they just said that one point was in between the other two. That's what you're doing. You made a diagram, you labeled it, made an equation, solved it. That's what they're talking about in the learning target. That's doing some geometry work. Now let's change our focus. Let's go over to angle idea. Same idea. Angle addition postulate just means rules. What do you notice? So if we were in class, I would have you guys throw out a whole bunch of ideas. So answers would vary up here. There'd be all sorts of different things. You might say that there's 3 rays. Vertex is O. Hopefully you figured out how many angles are here. We talked about this a few times. There are actually 3 different angles. They like to use the word distinct. All right, 3 different distinct angles. Boy, my spelling's off today. All right, and what do you wonder about that? How many degrees are they? How many degrees? Is it acute? Some kids threw out the words acute and obtuse the other day. Maybe you know what that means. I haven't officially learned what acute is. So that's the kind of stuff I think you guys would come up with on your own. But let's actually answer some of the questions up here. How many angles do I see in the diagram? There are 3 distinct angles. 3 distinct angles. Name each angle. What do they have in common? So they all have in common a vertex at O. A vertex at O is what they all have in common. So there's an angle from here to here. That's called angle AOB, or you can call it BOA, BOA. But BOA, AOB, 2 names for the same angle. Then there's an angle that goes from here to here. We can call that angle COB, COB, or you call it BOC. And then there's an angle that shows both of those as wide. All right, that goes from AOC. For the third one, I call it COA. Now, it says find the measure of each angle using a protractor. We're going to skip that one today. Hopefully I get protractors in the room and I can show you. Protractors are those little half circle things that show the degrees. You put the vertex here. You put one side of the angle here, the other side here. It might tell you how many degrees it is. It goes from like 0 to 180 going around. That's what a protractor looks like. We'll come back to that when I return to class. Write an angle addition statement based on your work to the left. So an angle addition, so the same thing like what we did with the segments, but this smaller angle plus this smaller angle, if you put the degrees of this one plus the degrees of that one, it would add up to the degrees of the whole thing. So if we use a protractor and we measured them out, I don't know what the degrees are. I don't have a protractor at home to actually do the work, nor do I have a key for it. But let's say this one came out to be 20 degrees, and then we measured this one, and it came out to be 52 degrees. Then the whole thing we would measure out. So the 20 degree angle plus the 52 degree angle would equal the whole thing, which would equal 72 degrees. But they're basically saying take angle BOA. Oh, wait, that's not BOA. BOA is the 20. BOA is the bigger one. Angle COB, that's the 20, plus the bigger one, angle BOA. And that would equal the big angle, angle AOC. write an angle addition statement based on your work to the left. So there's my angle addition statement. There it is in numbers, in degree numbers. Let's put it to good use here. If angle A is 24 degrees, so before you read all this and it gets confusing, that little squiggly M there, that means you say the measure. If the measure of angle ABE is 24 degrees, so ABE, so this little angle is 24, draw it in the diagram. Angle DBC is 46. DBC is 46 degrees. And angle DBE, which is the one in the middle, is 88 degrees. Our job is to find the measure of angle ABC. ABC is the whole thing. So it would mean from here, how many degrees is it to go from here to here? That's what we have to figure out. So take a minute, try to figure it out on your own. Pause it if you'd like. But it's this angle plus this angle plus this angle in addition. So it'll be the 24 degrees plus the 88 degrees plus the 46 degrees would equal the measure of angle ABC. The measure of angle ABC. So 24 plus 88 plus 46. 4 plus 88 plus 46 gives me a 100, pretty wide angle, 158 degree angle, measure of angle ABC. So anytime you see that little cursive italic M, it means measure of angle ABC, and that means you have to put your answer in degrees. So anytime you see this, they're talking about degrees. How many degrees is it? All right, next one. If the measure of angle ATM, oh, they're using algebra here. All right, ATM is here, so I'm going to write 5x plus 21 in here. And MTH is 7x plus 3. And ATH, the whole thing, is 18x. We have to figure out what x is. It's kind of weird because it's got x's in every single part of it, but you can still make an equation and solve it. This little angle plus this little angle has to equal what the big angle is. So you got to come up with a model. All right, you got to come up with a model. They mean an equation. So angle plus angle is the whole thing. 5x plus 21 plus 7x plus 3 equals the whole thing, 18x. All right, combine like terms. Let's clean up the left side a little bit. 5x and 7x is 12x. 21 plus 3 is 24. Let's get all the x's together. So let's subtract 12x from one side of the equation to the other. 24 equals 6x, 18 minus 12. Divide by 6. So 6 times something equals 24. If you divide by 6, we get our answer of what x equals. Now, usually in geometry, once you find x, you have to plug it in to find each angle number in here. So like you would take 4, plug it in. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 21 is 41. So this angle would be 41 degrees. Plug it in here. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 31. So that one's 21. This one's 31. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? That was 41. I'm sorry. 41 and 31 would equal 18 times 4. That would equal the whole thing at the very top. Last page. That's good. I'm running a little short on time here. Might have to speed it up a little bit. Find the measure of angle ABC. So I have to find this angle here. They do this a lot in geometry. What we need to do is recognize that angle ABD is straight line, which equals 180 degrees. That angle, it's sort of like a book that totally opens up all the way. that angle straight across A to B to D is a straight line, which is 180. It's half circle. It's a half a circle. Full circle is 360. Half of that is 180. So 3x plus 8 plus x plus 4 equals 180 degrees. Combine like terms. 4x plus 12 equals 180 degrees. Subtract 12. 168 divided by 4. X is going to equal 42. 42. I'm going to double check my math. 168 divided by 4 is 42. Now that's not the answer to the problem because I said, what's the measure of ABC? Measure of angle ABC would equal, ABC is the 3x plus 8. So 3 times 42. You got to plug it in. Plug in your x. Solve for x, plug it in. So 3 times 42 is 126 plus 8 gives me 134 degrees. 134 degrees. Angle MOP measures 126 divided into two smaller angles. MON is 58. Determine the measure of angle NOP. So 126 is wider than a right angle. So we're going to say that's MOP. 126 degrees means it's more than a right angle. Divided into two smaller angles. MON, so it must be an N coming out in the middle here. MON is 58. 58 would be less than half. So that's N. MON is 58 degrees. The whole thing, they told us, is 126. So I'm doing it kind of quick, but you guys are going to have to come up with a diagram on this one. This is what writing this in words and then drawing it, that's probably a really tough thing for you guys to learn how to do. It's going to take some practice in order to get that, how to draw the model, how to draw the diagram, and then create a model equation out of that. So MON is 58. Determine the measure of angle NOP. So we have to find this angle over here. So it's going to be 126 minus the smaller angle inside. That would equal the measure. Oh, I'm running out of time. That would equal the measure of angle NOP. So 126 minus 58 is 68. All right, I'm going to fill in this last part kind of quick. If B is between A and C, then AB plus BC, or I call it CB, AB plus BC is equal to AC. Well, then they wrote it for us right here. Then B is between. So they're just talking about the addition, the angle. If P is in the interior, they just mean P is in between these two rays. Then angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle RST, or angle RSP plus angle TSP. Those are the two main rules that we're going to do. Now, when you get your homework, or actually when you're done with this, submit those notes. So I want to check that you did those notes with the substitute if you have a substitute today when you're watching this. And then you got a homework assignment that'll be due by the next class time. Email any questions. I hope to see you guys at the next class. Unless I'm on a jury. Talk to you later.